What's up, guys? I'm doing this video completely unscripted. I know I haven't been uploading a ton, especially videos like this, but I had to make this video, based on some news that I got today. And yeah, I have to say, guys, today that, y'all need to go watch, The Law of Ueki. So, was not planning to make this video. It was a specific piece of news that sort of inspired me to make this video. Basically, what ended up happening was, that, I'm sorry if I'm, like, stuttering or what, not stuttering, but sort of forgetting what to say during sentences. I do that a lot, and again, this video is completely unscripted, but basically, this is one of my favorite animes, and I have the firm belief, or at least I personally believe this is the most underrated shonen anime series. Y'all can give me your thoughts about that in the comments. I don't really think there is a more underrated series than The Law of Ueki. I mean, there might be something out there, but a lot of the people who I've talked to who have seen the show also agree that it is very, very underrated. Like, there are other shonen series that are underrated, don't get, like, enough love that they deserve, like, I don't know, like, Hitman Reborn, maybe. I know that's a show. I haven't seen it, but I've heard really good things about it, and I know that show doesn't get as much love as it deserves. You know, this is Law of Ueki is like the only really underrated series I've seen. I mean, there are things you could say deserve more love. Like, I would say Yu Yu Hakusho deserves more love than it gets, but I wouldn't call it an underrated series. But The Law of Ueki is definitely an underrated series. But yeah, the episode you see playing right now, has my favorite fight in the entire series, Ueki versus, Baro, or Ballo, depending on if you're watching the dub or sub. But, yeah, basically this series is just very underrated, and I'm gonna go into why, and also why I decided to make this video today, of all days. So, I'm probably gonna make a higher quality, actual edited, scripted video about this topic later on, but for now I just wanted to do this. So, excuse me, The Law of Ueki is a shonen series that its manga went from 2001 to 2004, I believe. Its anime series went from 2005 to 2006, and it also got a manga sequel series in 2007, which I have yet to read. But I do plan to do that very soon. The Law of Ueki has 51 episodes. It's a fairly short series. And it's a shonen series about a character named Kosuke Ueki, who has a ton of determination, who has basically a sense of moral and righteousness. He always is striving to do the right thing, and he really just wants to make the world a better place, since he lives in a world that's corrupted by bad people and people who just have selfish intentions. And he really wants to help people out, and each of the characters in the show have powers. Basically every power in the show, it has to do with turning one thing into another thing. So, Ueki's power is turning trash into trees, which might not sound that powerful. In fact, they actually mention in the show that it is, like, a very, very weak power compared to all the other powers, but it's made up for the fact that later on in the show, well, two things, really. First of all, Ueki is a very, very clever character. I would say, of almost all the shonen protagonists, like, he is, like, the most clever. I don't really think there's much comparison. Like, obviously there's other characters from other animes, like Lelouch from Code Geass, you know, Light from Death Note, all that, but not, like, those are not battle shonens. In terms of battle shonens, I mean, I would say even Ueki is more intelligent than characters like Ichigo, Kurosaki, Yusuke Urameshi. Even Edward, I don't know. I mean, Edward Elric's pretty intelligent, right? If you consider Full Metal to be a battle shonen. But basically, Ueki is very clever, and he also has these things called celestial weapons, which are basically expansions of, not expansions of his abilities, but they're entirely new abilities that only certain characters in the show have. Now, it makes it fair because Ueki's, even with his celestial weapons, he's still generally weaker than a lot of the other characters because all these characters just have such overpowered abilities. You know, it goes from mind reading to creating what's in your mind, and then, like, one character probably from my favorite fight in the series, I might have said this is my favorite fight in the series. It's not, but it's definitely just the best episode to play the background for. My favorite fight in the series is with a character that can change 1 second into 10 seconds. So basically slow down time for everybody else, but keep herself in real time, or I don't know, however you want to explain it. And it's just Ueki's fighting these very overpowered opponents, and by the time Ueki's Trash into Trees powers become very, very useful, he's only fighting against opponents that have the celestial weapons. So basically, what I wanted to come out and say is that this show is just very, very great. This video is probably really bad so far, so sorry about that. But yeah, that's the basic synopsis. You know, this character does show a lot of really great characters, with some decent character development with some characters, but some of them are just very likable characters throughout the whole show. You have your main female character, Aimori. She gets a bit annoying at first, but then you see she really grows to care for who Ueki is, and you really start to grow sympathy for her and who she is. There's Seiichiro Sano, who's just the very good best friend character. He works very well. I would say Sano's my second favorite character in the show behind Ueki, of course. There's Rinko Gerard, who sort of changes sides throughout the story, and she's really really cool. You you learn to grow a lot of respect for her. There's Hideyoshi, who doesn't do much, but he's fun to have around. Even if again he doesn't really do much. And then there's the villains. You have Robert, who basically is just wants the whole world to just be destroyed, and but his ambitions kind of make sense because he was sort of corrupted to believe that all humans are bad and has a really, really rough childhood. And then there's the other main villain. I don't really think I'm spoiling anything by saying he doesn't come until like halfway through the series. That being Anon, or Hanon if you're watching the dub. He's a very, very cool villain. He doesn't have much of an ambition other than the fact that he just wants all humans to die because he just wants to be left alone. But he's still a cool villain, and the way of he's pretty clever with the way he does things too. And yeah, I would just say that the characters in the show are all great. Oh, and of course there's also Tenko. We can't forget about Tenko. He's like Kurama from Naruto, essentially, or Kurama, but if for Ueki. If I actually, you can compare the characters in the show a lot to other anime characters. I would say Ueki is very similar to someone like well, in terms of personality, he's sort of a mash between Luffy and Deku, I would say. Not in terms of personality, but in terms of personality, he's like a better version of Luffy in my opinion. But in terms of fighting, he's like a mix between Luffy and Deku. Because I feel like I've seen both My Hero. I've seen at least the anime portion of My Hero. I've seen the first 4 seasons, but with who Deku is and how the way he fights, like, it just very much, I feel like I can compare him and Ueki's fighting styles a lot. They're able to fight very, very well, because of how clever they are. The fights in both of the shows are actually pretty similar. And yeah, that's basically it. There's a few other characters like Kobayashi, Kobasen, who's like the teacher character, and Inumaru, who's like the other teacher character. But that's basically the rundown of that. So now I sort of want to get into the reasoning as to why I decided to make this video specifically today of all days. So today, I found out, I don't know if it was announced today or if it was yesterday or a few days ago, but today I found out that the Law of Ueki was being added to Crunchyroll. Now, the whole series for Law of Ueki dubbed has been available on YouTube for years now, and just this, in 2021 has been a very great year for the Law of Ueki, at least in comparison to the years prior. At the beginning of the year, it got added to Amazon Prime, so that's like the best quality way you're going to be able to watch the show. It's going to be like the audio and everything is just going to be better on there than it is on YouTube. But on Crunchyroll, it's special because they have the sub there now. And I'm not sure, a lot of anime people are dub only. I used to be dub only, but I started watching subs of shows, and I think the sub of this show is significantly better than the dub. Because I personally don't actually really care for the dub that much. I think a few of the voices are pretty standout. But yeah, I just think you guys should all go really watch The Law of Ueki. It just got added to Crunchyroll today, which is very good news for the show. I hope it'll gain more popularity. A lot of people like Shonen Showdown. I know there's this one anime guy on TikTok. I don't remember his name. He had like 27k followers that shouted out The Law of Ueki. Like, I have not met someone except for like a few people whose reasonings have not been the greatest that have watched The Law of Ueki and not liked it. I think The Law of Ueki is such an enjoyable time. It's my personal favorite underrated shonen, I guess. It's my third favorite anime series altogether, only behind Bleach and Yu Yu Hakusho. All three of the series, though, really mean a lot to me, and Ueki is my second favorite protagonist behind Yusuke. He's sort of at the same pedestal as Ichigo, but I think I like Ueki a little bit more. For a 51-episode series, especially for a battle shonen 51-episode series, it's very solid at what it tries to accomplish. I think all the fights are very unique compared to other animes. It's a very old-school anime. Like, I don't think you would see something like this in today's society in terms of anime, because, you know, we have to have, like, the great animation, like, spectacular animation, super story-driven shows like Attack on Titan, and stuff like that. And don't get me wrong, I love Attack on Titan, but I'm just saying that's like, there's a bit more of a standard for animes than there used to be. But I think that The Law of Ueki is a very good series. I would highly recommend it. If you don't have an Amazon Prime or Crunchyroll subscription, you can watch it on YouTube. If you, for some reason, dread watching a show on YouTube, then I guess go watch The Law of Ueki on Amazon Prime or Crunchyroll. Crunchyroll has both the dub and the sub, so you might be best off going there, though. If you get an Amazon Prime subscription, you get access to Malcolm in the Middle, too. But that's not an anime, so I'm not going to talk about that show today. But with Crunchyroll, you're getting a bunch of anime subbed. It's not my favorite company in the world, but I would recommend getting it just to watch The Law of Ueki. Maybe you can binge it fast, use a free trial. I don't know if they have free trials on there or not. I personally the only anime streaming service I use is Funimation, because the problem I have with Crunchyroll is all of the animes are usually subbed, and I can just find them on other websites. And The Law of Ueki, both the dub and the sub are on there. That's nice, and like, usually I can find the anime at other places, but with The Law of Ueki, the sub is actually pretty hard to find, especially in like good quality. If you don't want to buy a physical release, like I would just recommend doing that. So that's the end of this video. Seriously, if you guys want more reasonings to why I like The Law of Ueki so much, I'm happy to give it to you guys, but The Law of Ueki is seriously one of my favorite shonen series. Highly would recommend it. I still try this day. I'm still looking for the complete soundtrack. I've uploaded a lot of it, but I'm still digging through the internet to this day, looking for more CDs to see if there's any more tracks. I think I got the last CD that's like I know might have something interesting on it. I don't think it will, but there's a sliver, like a small chance, and so I got it for really cheap from a Japanese website, so I figured why not. Anyway, that's the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys would like me to make more Law of Ueki content in the future, please be sure to let me know, and have a great rest of your day.